Hello IP5, welcome to our 7th video lesson. Now last week we were finishing chapter 5, capitalization and punctuation. Today we are going to start a new chapter. So normally when we finish a chapter we do a revision lesson and then we do a unit test. But because we're not in school, we cannot really do a unit test or a revision lesson. So we're going to move on to a different chapter today, and hopefully when we come back to school, I'll be able to go over chapter 5 again and give you a unit test later in the year. But instead of having our review and our unit test, today we're going to move on to the next chapter. And usually when we finish a grammar chapter, we move on to a writing chapter. We usually go grammar, writing, grammar, writing. But this year we have 2 grammar topics that we need to finish and only 1 writing topic. So we're going to actually do another grammar topic. So we're going to move on to chapter 6, pronouns. So I hope you remember what pronouns are. Before we do that, we're just going to check last week's homework again. So on Friday, you had 2 lessons. I'm going to check the workbook page from the 2nd lesson now. Okay, so your homework on Friday was workbook page 96. In section A, we had to add capital letters, quotation marks, commas, and end marks so that we could write these sentences correctly. So, number 1, capital T, the firefighter announced, comma, quotation mark, capital T, there are rules for fire safety, full stop, quotation mark. So you needed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things in that sentence. If you made 1 mistake, you can have half a point. If you made more than 1 mistake, you get 0. Number 2, quotation mark, capital L. Let's see if you know what they are, comma, not full stop, comma, quotation mark, she added, full stop. Number 3, quotation mark, capital S, should electrical wiring, comma, quotation mark, Mark asked, comma, quotation mark, no capital letter on B, be checked carefully, question mark, quotation mark. So that one was quite difficult because the words telling us who is speaking were in the middle of the sentence. Number 4, quotation mark, capital N, never overload an electrical outlet, exclamation point, quotation mark, Judy exclaimed, full stop. Okay, so give yourselves a score out of 4 for section A. Okay, section B, it says there are 6 errors in punctuation and capital letters in the story. Like I told you on Friday, you had to be careful with this because it says there's 6 errors, but you actually need to add 8 things. It's counting a pair of quotation marks as 1 error. So, last week there was a fire at the home of student Karen Howard. Don't need to change anything. When asked about the fire, Principal Tobin said, comma, quotation mark, capital T, this is a terrible disaster for Karen. Her family lost nearly everything, quotation mark. So we've got comma is 1, capital T is 2, and then the pair of quotation marks is 3. Mr. Tobin added, comma, quotation mark, capital I, it was good, no one was hurt. So again, comma is the 4th, capital letter is the 5th, and the pair of quotation marks makes 6. So give yourselves a score out of 6, and a total for the page out of 10. Okay, so like I've told you, today we are moving on to a new chapter. Chapter 6, pronouns. Now you've done pronouns many times before. I remember doing it with you in grade 3. You should have done it last year in grade 4, so this should be very easy. So this is lesson 1, subject pronouns. So just in case you're not sure what a pronoun is, we already know that a noun is a word that names a person, place, or thing, and a pronoun is a shorter word that we use instead of a noun or instead of nouns in a sentence. Okay. As well, at the start of the year, we talked about subject and predicate. The subject tells who or what the sentence is about, and we use subject pronouns to replace nouns that are in the subject of a sentence. So, Poopa needs to borrow a pencil. The subject is Poopa, and instead of the name Poopa, we could say he needs to borrow a pencil. Another one, Zen and I got lost on our way to the park. The subject is Zen and I, and we can change that to we. We got lost on our way to the park. Now, usually when you say a subject pronoun, it's usually at the start of a sentence, but it does not have to be at the start of a sentence. If you have the linking verb be, which has many different forms, then you could actually put a subject pronoun after the linking verb be. So, he is the loudest in the class. Another way to say that would be, the loudest in the class is he. Is a form of the linking verb be, and you can put the subject pronoun at the end of the sentence after that linking verb. Again, they were pirates, pirates were they. Were is past tense of the special verb be, and you can put the subject pronoun they after it. So we know already that nouns can be singular or plural. Singular means one, plural means more than one. Subject pronouns can also be singular or plural. So these are singular subject pronouns: I, you, he, she, and it. And plural subject pronouns are we, you, and they. You'll notice that you is both singular and plural. If I'm talking to one person directly, I could say you. If I'm talking to a group, like if I'm talking to the class, I can say you, but that means the whole group. So it can be singular or plural. Okay, look at page 216. Read those 6 sentences, questions 1 to 6. You can see that the subject has been underlined. You need to choose the correct subject pronoun to use instead of those nouns. So, if you have your textbook, do it in your book. If you don't have your textbook, when you pause the video, write the answers on paper. And when I've told you to pause the video, press pause and press play when you've finished up to number 6. So please pause now. Okay, if you have finished up to number 6, you can keep listening for the answers. So number 1, Leo and Emily cooked. We use they. Leo bought the fruit. Leo is he. Number 3, Emily served egg rolls. Emily is she. Number 4, the chicken was broiled. The chicken is it. Number 5, Bill and I ate the most. Bill and I is we. Number 6, the dishwashers were Kieran and Pa. Pa is he. Okay, give yourselves a score out of 6. And then we'll look at the next page. Okay, so look at page 217 and look at questions 7 to 14. Again, all you need to do is write the correct subject pronoun for those underlined nouns. So it should be quite easy. If you're not sure about whether someone is a boy or a girl, you might need to look it up. So press the pause button and press play when you've finished. Okay, if you've done up to number 14, keep watching for the answers. Last year, Arnie was the lifeguard. Arnie is he. The new lifeguard is Jenny. Jenny is she. Conrad, Sally, and I played water basketball. Conrad, Sally, and I means it's we. Leroy is a boy's name. We use he. He threw the ball through the floating hoop. The floating hoop fell over. We use it. Did Dina put the hoop back in place? Dina is a girl's name, so she. The best players were Conrad and Tina. We've got two people, so we say they. And volunteers for cleanup were Nicola and Alan. Nicola is a girl's name, so we say she. So give yourselves a score out of 8, please, and a total out of 14. Okay, IP5. Your homework for this lesson is workbook page 102. Please make sure that you finish it before you watch the lesson on Friday. Again, this Friday you will have 2 English lessons. Make sure you finish the homework before you watch the first video. Okay, IP5, so this is workbook page 102. You have 20 sentences. In each sentence, the subject has been underlined for you. And on this line, you need to write the correct subject pronoun. So very similar to the work that we've just been doing in the textbook. Okay, IP5, that is the end of this lesson. So please make sure you finish workbook page 102 before our next lesson on Friday. And until then, thank you, IP5. Bye-bye.